So I keep finding myself kind of drawn to my front porch. It was always my safe space when Brian was in a shitty mood or in a tirade. I would, probably why I didn't quit smoking earlier, gave me an excuse to get away from him for 5 minutes. I remember we had we had an argument. He got angry that we were picking up dinner and I hadn't went ahead and paid for it. And when we got in the car, I didn't realize he was angry, and I was like, hey, you want to get down later? And he said, you only offer me sex when I'm angry at you. And I looked at him, I'm like, so you're calling me a prostitute? And of course I took that the wrong way. So we didn't speak the rest of the way home. I didn't eat. I just went and took a walk. And the farther I am from those days, God, it's the lying and the sneaky part of it that, he didn't just destroy my youngest daughter and me. He destroyed his own daughter. She absolutely adored him. She loved her father. And in one fell swoop, he absolutely destroyed that. I can't fix that. And she's such a good kid. All our older children are such good kids. I go and occasionally in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, I'll go take a walk around the park. I would do that occasionally when he would get just too much. And I'd have to get away from him because he would say some of the most awful things to me. I think I'm humiliated that I spent 10 years with someone. I wasted 10 years with someone who didn't really love me. And I don't know if I was just so desperate to not fail again. He always would say when I get ready to leave that, I'm the only dad she's ever known. And that's precisely what made this so bad. Sad part is, if her biological father was still alive, if he found out about this, nothing would have kept Brian safe. Brian was a lot of things I thought. He may not have been the nicest to me, but I thought deep down he was an ethical and morally good man. I really, really thought that. And I think that's why I was so devastated and just humiliated that I could be so wrong. For all the things I worked on about myself to improve myself. Not necessarily for him, but to improve myself too. But it was never quite good enough. Never would have been. I down like 50 pounds since this all started. Not eating, not losing weight the way you're supposed to. I just have to get through May 30th, and I think that I can finally, I'm hoping I'll be able to put it a little more behind me I know it's going to take a lot of therapy, but, you know, this, I just want to let all this anger go. And my doctor, he told me last week, he goes, you're never going to let this anger go. You're always going to carry this with you. Because I didn't just trust him with my heart, I trusted him with my children. You know, and I know there's probably still people out there that think, oh, he's probably really just a good guy deep down. No, he's not. He's never treated a woman he's been in a long-term relationship with, I think, the way they deserve to be treated. You know, and the sad part is, before my daughter's biological father, I never would have let a man treat me like either of those two. Never again either. You know, and I don't like who I am now. I don't like this anger in me. I don't like how short I am. I don't like how bitter I've become. But I don't know how to let it go yet. And I guess that will come with time. Just like I don't love him anymore. I have no feelings of any kindness, or I don't feel any softening toward him whatsoever. It's a weird feeling. You know, I miss sleeping next to somebody every night. I'm not gonna lie. That comfort of having someone, you know, that you thought you had your back even at the worst. Someone who loved you at your worst. I loved him at his worst. I was willing to let him improve on himself and I gave him chance after chance after chance. And his friends have no idea. I know they were talking bad about me. He was talking bad about me to people. And that's even more devastating. Because I was his biggest fan. You know, when you cheat on someone, you don't just betray them. You betray your whole family. You know, what kind of example does that show to your daughter? Luckily, she has enough strong men in her life that she'll be fine in time. Everybody have a good night.